We just saw Taken 3, and on this show I take my friends, we go see a movie, we review it in the car, and then we have a discussion. The review part is spoiler-free, so if you're looking for a recommendation, watch that part. And if you've already seen the movie or don't care about spoilers, just watch the whole thing, and we'll talk about everything that we thought. Taken, the series, the trilogy, as you want to look at it. Obviously, the first one was very successful. Established Liam Neeson as kind of like the beginning of him being kind of the action star that he's become over the last several years. Taken 2 was a huge step down. They changed directors, and it just wasn't quite as good. It didn't seem like there was really room for a third one. And as it turns out, there really wasn't room for a third one. It barely has a story. It barely has a reason to exist. They just kind of shove a couple of things into the characters that they've established over the other two movies and put this movie together. And that wouldn't be such a terrible thing, but the story is not that great. It's every story, every action movie story you've ever seen, every revenge story you've ever seen. The dialogue is just god-awful, especially in the first act when they're doing all the exposition. There are some just cringe-inducing dialogue scenes. And then the editing and the action is really hard to watch. Super fast cuts, jump cuts everywhere. Ridiculous things happening, scenes where just for no reason, lots and lots of innocent people die, which isn't really the Taken thing. It's not the sort of thing that character should be doing. And you've got Liam Neeson in there doing his best with what he's got. You've got Forest Whitaker in there doing a really good job with what he's got. But the rest of it is just crap. It's just so bad. I wanted it to be better. It's not better. I enjoyed the, for Liam Neeson movies, Walk Among the Tombstones was better. The Nonstop last year was better. The last Luc Besson movie I saw that was kind of similar to this was 3 Days to Kill. That movie's better. So I would check out one of those if you haven't seen any of, if there's one of those you haven't seen yet, I would check that out first before seeing this. Definitely don't bother in the theater. And if you're just a completionist or you're just a huge Liam Neeson action movie fan, I can see renting this at some point down the road. But check your brain at the door. It's not gonna wow you or anything. So that's thumbs down for me. What do you guys think?
It was terrible. It was just absolutely terrible. The first one was good. I mean, it wasn't great. Definitely didn't rewrite the genre. The second one, they introduced this new director who is absolutely inept. He can't film an action movie, so what he does is he does these quick cuts, and he does them in a way that is nonsensical. If you look at the quick cuts, it'll cut to something that doesn't even make sense. During a car chase, it cut to the floorboard of the car. Why do we need to see the floorboard of the car? That doesn't...
Action!
It was terrible, and the dialogue, oh my god. It was corny, and Forest Whitaker, as awesome an actor as he is, had absolutely no purpose in this movie.
Yeah.
He was just relegated to the background. He actually had more screen time in the trailer than he did in the movie. But I wouldn't even watch it. I wouldn't even bother. Just consider to the end, because in this one they kind of forget the second one even happened. So it's just meh at best.
It's mistaken. There we go.
It's shameful, but...
Well, it's a little bit different for me in that I haven't saw the first two, so it's my first Taken movie. I did enjoy seeing Liam Neeson up on the screen, and I did enjoy Forest Whitaker. Having said that, at times it felt like just formulaic action movie number 4,432. rather than, you know, something unique. Although I did enjoy parts of it. And I do have to echo what's been said about the action scenes, especially the car one. There was so many jump cuts going on, and not in any kind of action-y cool order. It wasn't like some visceral action scene. It was literally so random you could have stuck some cuts of some internet memes at the time.
Yeah.
It would have made just as much sense. As one of the, and I don't know if that's directing or definitely editing, but like the way it was put together
Yes.
just didn't make sense. It didn't. I know it was supposed to feel energetic, but it didn't. It just felt silly. Having said that, I don't know. I enjoyed it, but knowing that there's so many plot conveniences that I knew it wasn't going to be surprising in any real way. But I did like it. For me, if it was on TV and it was on, I'd probably sit on the couch and watch it. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. I guess that's the best way I
Yeah.
can put it.
That works. So if that sounds good to you, check it out. Don't let us spoil anything for you before we get into the spoiler section, which is going to happen in like 3, 2, 1. So,
3. This review is brought to you by the number 3.
this review is brought to you by a pound of stupid banged into your head many, many, many times.
Why are you such a pessimist? Line from the movie. Terrible. Just like, no, oh, God.
That was like as close to Luc Besson writing as there was in this movie.
True.
Like that was actually like a quip. That was actually like a one-liner.
I didn't mind that.
That first scene between Liam Neeson and Famke Janssen, where they're like talking and they're giving you the exposition of the movie, was so stupid. It was so cheesy and so obviously we're giving exposition. Yes, we are. That's what we're doing right now. We are giving exposition. Thanks. Hey, do you like exposition? I do too. That's great. Well, I'll see you. Okay, thanks for coming over. Bye. We still love each other? Kind of. But I need to try and work it out with my husband. Okay, I'm an honorable guy, so go right ahead and do that.
I kiss you, but I don't kiss you.
And you're like, Gah! And they do that because, like,
It was just there to set up the situation that was going to happen.
they were there to set that all up, and it was because the next time he saw her, she was going to be dead, and he wasn't going to know what had happened to her, which in the trailer they show her, and she's obviously dead, and, you know, he does the whole I didn't kill her and takes out the cops and all that in the
Becomes
trailer.
the fugitive.
Yes. In the movie, I expected there to be, like, blood or something
Yeah,
to tell
was
us
it-
that she was dead,
Yeah.
but
I think it's like a PG or something. Or was that a PG-13? It was barely a...
it was a 13. They did not show any blood on her neck.
Well, he mentions that her throat slash. Why did he try to, like, feel her pulse?
He mentions it, but they don't show that when he goes and finds the body. And when he goes and sees her in the morgue, she has, like, this scar.
Yeah.
It,
that
it
looks-
looks,
What happened to you?
it looks like she got choked out.
Yeah. It does not look like she got cut. There's, like, not a wound.
It was in it directing. It was terrible.
It's like they got Famke Janssen for a day, and they couldn't spend the time to put, like, the makeup on her, like the wound makeup
Well, later
on
on
her.
they say her throat was slashed.
They say
in the
it,
movie.
and they show the scar when she's in the morgue. But the scar is, like, not...
Yeah, it's like a year-old scar or something.
It looks like it
Maybe
was
that was
drawn
for the
on by a
PG.
Girl Scout or something in, like,
It's
makeup
like,
class.
You remember back in the day, like when you were a kid, you'd make those things out of those little necklaces out of Play-Doh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Or just, like, she put some, like, Elmer's glue across her neck.
It was-
Like, that's all it
It
was.
was terrible. But
Maybe
you
at
know,
one point they were trying to hit a PG.
getting
rating.
back to
Yeah.
that conversation at the table between Famke Janssen and Liam Neeson, it completely disregards the second movie.
Yes.
Like in the for people who
Well,
have seen this, since we're in the
They,
spoiler
they
section.
rewrite, like... They write a... Like, they write a in-between where, like, they break up again for some reason. That's sort of... I mean, that's part of what was so ridiculous about that exposition scene.
I guess because he mentions that like 2 years ago in Istanbul.
Yes.
2 years, like they didn't even mention her husband in the second movie.
Well,
Not
yeah,
once.
it's like they used, and also because the daughter is, obviously grown up and older and all that, I think they sort of used like the real time that elapsed between the second and third movies as having taken place in the movie's universe. But yeah,
and the quick cuts, man. Oh, that was
so hard to keep up with. The other thing was great was the Oleg guy, Makarov, I think.
Yeah.
They kept saying his name over and over again. Like every time they would be like, Oleg Makarov.
they would say it exactly like that.
He was deep Spetsnaz.
Yeah, they go into this whole thing of how badass he is and what
Kinda
a
like-
terrible shot he was.
Kind of like our Navy SEALs. They just like show this like moron running around Afghanistan like in this stupid
Killing random people.
stupid filtered thing, and I want to look up and find out how old this actor was, because the actor looked like he was about 40. I was like, he probably was not old enough to be Spetsnaz in like the Russian fight against Afghanistan.
Yeah, when was that? Like the early 80s or something?
My
Yeah.
favorite thing was how clearly they were just doing that explanation for the audience,
Yeah.
because he's explaining it to Liam Neeson. If anybody knows who Spetsnaz is,
Yeah.
it's Liam Neeson.
They're kind of like our Navy SEALs.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was.
I wanted like Steven Seagal to be in the background going like, yeah, they're a little bit like our Navy SEAls.
This felt like
Being
the
beaten
really
with
crappy action movies that they would put on TV for guys who like TV.
Yes.
Or TV movies for guys who like movies. That's what it
Yes.
was. And they would take a terrible action movie and edit it horribly for television. That's what this felt like.
That's true. Like this could have been like, it's sort of like if you watch Pulp Fiction on TV or something like that, where
It's all sanitized.
it's so weird. Like they have so much that they have to cut out, and whole sequences that just disappear, that don't make any sense. And just like, I mean, just another example, when he crashes the Porsche into the plane to take out the wheel to disable the plane so that his daughter is safe. You're watching the plane.
That was ironic.
You're watching the plane like splinter apart and like spark like crazy as it's almost crashing off the roadway. And you're thinking, yeah, he just tried to kill his daughter. That was his plan.
Well,
He was like disappointed when the plane didn't blow up.
there was a lot.
I didn't understand what happened with his car. Twice he was in a fiery explosion in the
Yeah.
car, and apparently, if you're really trained well enough, you can just like magically not be there.
Yeah, if you're born in Northern Ireland, you can survive a car crash explosion.
Ridiculous
Anytime.
explosions. Like
Call an
his
Electrocon.
cars explode, almost leveling buildings. It doesn't make any sense.
But he makes it out in the split second before, and like
Yep.
burrows underground like a. How does he-
Yeah, him and Kenneth Branagh, they both.
Did you catch the fugitive reference?
Well, which one?
His initial escape. He's wearing gray, like a gray sweatshirt and everything,
Yeah.
exactly like Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Drops down into water
That's true. The water, yeah.
to get away from the cops,
drains.
and
That's
comes
true.
out of the tunnel. They even have him going towards the light. It's the exact scene from Fugitive.
Yeah. I loved how Forrest Whitaker is completely omniscient in the movie. He always knows exactly what Liam Neeson did.
Yeah.
It's like, should we follow him? Yeah, don't bother. He's long gone.
He had no point in that movie. Absolutely 0 point. He added nothing except at the very end for the stupid people in the audience that just did not follow the
Didn't
movie
know what
at all.
happened.
He's like, I figured it out, when I ate a bagel.
Well, it was because
You weren't the bad guy. This other
was-
guy was the bad guy.
because Famke Janssen was dead, they needed somebody else to be at the end to explain the movie, and for Liam Neeson to go, yeah, that is what happened. All right, are we done here?
Yes.
All right, bye.
You killed like hundreds of
You
people.
killed everyone, and you destroyed like millions of dollars worth of
while
property.
fleeing from the cops and obstructing an investigation.
After
We're going to let
stealing-
you walk out the front door.
Yeah, after stealing data, which we could arrest you for, by the way,
But we're not.
but we're not. Just
We're not.
stay around for the next month or so in case I have any questions.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh,
like, it gives him like the most like sarcastic, sure, like the Liam Neeson can possibly do.
yeah. And of
Stop
course,
talking.
He
You had
threatens,
me at warm bagels.
he threatens the bad guy, which leaves it possibly open for a number 4, even though Liam Neeson says this is the last one he's doing.
Oh, it's the last one. I mean, unless they, bring it back with Forrest Whitaker as the
Taken.
the way to make it.
I'm telling
But
you.
Maybe Forrest Whitaker gets kidnapped in the next one. And they forge such
They-
a strong bond at the end of this one.
they take his bagels away.
That's
what
it is.
happens.
Yeah.
And that's not cool. That's
You
not
took
gonna
my
fly.
bagels.
Yeah.
I don't have any bagels.
What kind of man goes and buys warm bagels and then comes home and murders his wife? I don't
A
know.
lot of people.
I don't know.
I'm
A
sure.
murderer?
Yeah, like they're not working with the full deck.
Somebody that, murders their ex-wife?
Yeah,
They might do something like that.
it sounds legit. Like if you put murder
It's-
in any type of situation, you're like, oh well, I
Well,
can
it's like
see.
adding anything into that. It's
Hey,
like,
I have
what kind of a guy watches an episode of The Simpsons and then goes and murders his ex-wife? It's like, what do they have to do with one another?
Hey, I have an observation / complaint about like anytime a movie,
Not everything.
every time an action movie has a heisty style scene in it, like with the penthouse thing. And
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
Could we stop ripping off music that kind of sounds like The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
It
just
Yes.
totally changed tone into oh come
What would have
on.
been great is if the Spetsnaz guy, like, for some reason he's in a hot tub making out with 2 women. By the way,
That guy's
'Cause
like
he's
his-
Russian.
That guy's like Ben Kingsley in Iron Man 2. Like he is like the anti
Man
bad
3.
guy. Yeah. Iron Man 3. Yeah.
3, number 3. I'm telling
Thrice
you.
she'll be the number of your counting.
5 will just be outright. So yeah, he's making out with 2 women for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I forgot about
For
that.
no apparent reason. And I'm just hoping that he has like a mountain of cocaine. And then he says something about, okay, I've reloaded during the fight scene. I would have been so excited.
He shows up to his apartment. They show him going in with the guy narrating, like, there's another set of doors, and then another set of doors, and then there's his apartment. They show him walk in there, and he's, like, there with, like, a bunch of, like, thugs or whatever. They're, like, they're protecting him. And then the next time you see him, he's in a hot tub with 2 girls.
By the way, like whitey tidies and
Yeah, I was getting to that. So he's in the hot tub with 2 girls, and you're like, oh, he just, like, is rolling in bitches up in there, I guess.
That's right.
And he ends up fighting Liam Neeson in a dress shirt and tidy whities.
And you never see the girls again.
Yeah, they're gone. They're probably dead with the amount of like gunfire and like insanity that went off in that penthouse.
Probably cut a few
Here's
strays.
something I didn't understand about that. He is expecting a business meeting. Why is he making out with 2 bitches? And then, like, that don't make no sense.
That didn't make any sense. Neither did
He was trying to
neither did a
relax. He had his hot
Spetsnaz-
tub, and they were already there. And
Well, he's a trained badass, and him emptying like 5 clips without hitting Liam Neeson didn't make much sense either.
the scene, oh my god, the scene where Liam Neeson's like holding the guy as the meat shield. Mm-hmm. The fact that he didn't die like 4 times in that scene,
Oh,
like
yeah.
when they're machine gun ripping him, like
Yeah,
no,
it's just nuts.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
just no.
Oh God. Back to the scene where he's he's entering the apartment.
That's
and-
important.
yeah. It goes back to something you said earlier. They again say his name. Makarov. He has an apartment. We know he has an
I
apartment.
think I picked up Makarov from one of the Call of Duty games, actually, but
it doesn't
it might as
matter.
well be.
It doesn't matter. He had no point in the movie anyway, other than a faceless enemy.
Oleg
Well, there
lives
was
on
a
the
twist.
21st floor.
Oleg.
I mean, there was a twist, but there's one in every movie like that.
That
The
the
twist you
husband
saw
did it.
coming anyway.
That the husband that.
Yeah.
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 That everybody saw coming.
He deleted text messages. Holy crap! He's a criminal mastermind.
I know the spy didn't see.
Oh,
this-
that was the other thing I forgot to mention was, like, the crew of guys that are, like, Liam Neeson's golfing buddies, right? So he's got his crew of, like, golfing buddies that he goes and hangs out with that are also, like, basically his, like, team
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he's out in the field. They show up, like, every time they're needed and then, like, quietly fade back into the plot. And then they show up again toward the end. And then they're both killed. Yeah, they're killed in the scene with Oleg.
I thought only one of them
Yeah, I thought it
was
was just
killed
the
because
one
the
in the
other
van.
one was still at the.
And he was still
at the
alive.
house.
He was just taken to hospital or something.
Okay. Well, the one that was with the daughter gets shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And, like, no one, like, sheds a tear. Like, it's like, oh yeah, that guy died.
Liam Neeson kind of has a look of pain and seriousness, but that might have been the fact that he was in this movie. So
I
you
think
never
Taken was
know.
really, I mean, I don't remember I don't remember
I need
the
to watch
order.
The first one.
But I want to say that was the first, like, Liam Neeson action movie.
Yeah.
Because he's been in a whole series of those.
Yeah, he did Taken and Unknown,
The Gray.
The Gray.
Like, there's a bunch of them that he's been in that are all, like, and people call
Gray's a completely
Nonstop
different movie.
the Taken on a Plane and stuff like that, which it's not at all. It's like a mystery. But anytime you have, like, action Neeson now, it's
He's been typecast.
Taken. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a stupid beard and
and he also,
terrible dialogue
He
and-
also just
midichlorians.
will not turn. Oh God. Oh God.
It wasn't the Phantom Menace. Thanks for watching. This was Taken 3. If you like the way we do these reviews, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written and video reviews at dalemaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.